Yo, what's going on? What is good? What's good, everyone? Hope you guys are having a good day today. Today is March 13th, 2023. It's Monday, 1 p.m. EST, which means we are live here on YouTube for some live analysis and all that business. Talk about some stuff, analysis, books, other topics that I might have that come across my thoughts. Know what I'm saying? Whatever, some value. What's good, Naruto? What's good, Mateo? I think that's how you say that. If I pronounced that wrong, let me know. But wow, volatility today, man. Volatility. And let's do a quick sound check as well, because I don't have the headset on, and it shouldn't be too loud. You know what? And I don't know if that's the, I don't know. They flagged one of my streams last week for copyright, but they said that they allowed it on YouTube. So I'm like, all right, well, that's good at least. You know what I'm saying? If I had to say off the rip, I'm probably bearish for this afternoon. We're gonna see what happens. Sounds good. All right, appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. What do you think about the US down? How will the next days be? Nice to be in your live stream. What's up? GE69. What's good? But today, if we really start to ramp up here to the downside, if we start getting some emphasis to the downside, 38.08 could be easy. 37.88 could be easy as well. And if we look at opening price, okay, now everybody knows about all of the bank runs, as I think it was SVB or whatever over in Cali. There was like, I think 2 or 3 bank failures, whatever. I told you last year that I didn't trust banks, but I won't go too much into that. And it's not really, I don't think most people, like 99% of people, I don't think they need to pull their money out of the bank. I don't know if this is confirmed or not, you know, because obviously Twitter, everyone shares their thoughts, and people on YouTube share their own thoughts and all that. But most people don't have a lot of money in the bank anyway. But if you guys didn't know how it works here in the US, yeah, it's, the whole thing is ridiculous. Fractional reserve banking and all that. So I think I've only had 2 instances in my life where I wanted to pull money out of the bank and they didn't have it. So I had to call ahead. And then a third time was for euros, actually, but they don't have foreign currencies at like regular banks. So I had to order that in advance. But there was only, I think, yeah, 2 times in my life where I was like, hey, I want to pull out X amount. And they were like, oh, fuck, we don't have it. Come back in a couple days. And then one time, I don't know why I did this, please don't ask, but I pulled out like 600 one time. And it was just like for cash, you know, savings or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I just take $600. She was like, well, do you want $1 bills? I was like, $1 bills? Me being young and retarded, I was like, sure, I'll take 600 in ones, bro. After that, there was no more cash. She's like, I got like maybe $50 left in ones. and that's it. I'm like, oh, it's the end of the day anyway. It's cool. And I had this just giant stack of like $1 bills. It was so dumb. I returned it like a couple days later or a couple weeks later and swapped it out for the blue strip 100s because I'm like, this is just ignorant. I was like, I'm not going to the strip club, you know, just this big ass wad of cash is just ridiculous. So I'll probably never do that again. It was fun, but I'll probably never do that again. What do you think about the banking collapse, and do you think they'll affect the forex market? Well, that's what I think today is about. I think today is volatility out the wazoo, man. I mean, fuck. I was trying to frame trades that were 10-point stops or less, and it's been really hard today on the S&P. It's been fucking hard to frame 10 points or less. Now, I was watching this earlier, and this wasn't bad. If you go to the NASDAQ at 1023 and 1039, we had equal lows. I'm like, okay, they gotta come back for that. They gotta come back for that. And if we go to a 15-minute, there's an imbalance from London, like I guess London Open, give or take, right? So I'm like, okay. It was like 1 or 2 candles later. I'm like, all right, yeah, we traded into that imbalance. But it was the original short that I had was at 1103, and I really shouldn't have been trading lunch. Like, I really shouldn't have been doing that. I did it anyway. Just don't tell nobody. All right. So I shorted that. I had to stop it up here. And so immediately drawdown, I'm like, all right. Then we go my favor. I'm like, okay, cool. Then we go back into drawdown. I'm like, fuck. Then we go my way again. I'm like, dude, this is taking too long. Then I saw this imbalance right here, and I bumped my stop too quickly. And so it popped up, and I ended up getting out with like a couple points. I'm gonna chalk it up as a break even. And then I'm like, and then I saw we reacted. I'm like, oh fuck, we're about to run those lows. And then we immediately trade lower, and I'm like, son of a bitch. I was like, wait a minute, we've got an imbalance. It runs up, trades into that, and I was like, nah, I'm just gonna let it go. And then it runs right to like the lows that I wanted. I'm like, fuck. So I mean, it wasn't bad overall. Looking back at it, it wasn't bad, but you know, that's another reason why I don't trade lunch. Too much drawdown, too much time in drawdown, and it fucking, I don't like it. You know what I mean? I don't like it. So but anyways, we ended up rallying back up again, clearing out some highs, and then back down below the lows again. So today's been pretty wild, man. In that same retracement here, I'm just looking, and this was after the fact, but there's this up candle here at 1105. So to me, I'm trying to look at the overall picture here, and this is why I'm making the case for a bearish afternoon, because we had our open, we left some lows, we rallied, retracement, rallied twice above London's high, drop down, up candle respected, drop down. So I'm like, okay, if we really are going to trade lower on a higher time frame, there's at least going to be an opportunity for, you know, big money, smart money, whoever, to sell into the rally before like a big massacre comes. So I think there is a likelihood that we're gonna dump this afternoon. Okay, so there's your afternoon session. There's your 2 to 3. There's your like last hour, if you will. If you guys want to set alerts, you're welcome to do so. This morning's a low for the S&P, and then I want to say this is a daily low as well. So if we scroll back to December 22nd, there's a low at 37.88. So That's why I'm saying if we are bearish enough, and if we continue to get heightened volatility, there is a opportunity that we could trade down to those levels. It's pretty far though. 70, 80 something, 80 something points to the downside. So, you know, I don't usually call moves like that, you know, 80 points, 90 points like in a day. Not usually. But it's cool. You know what I'm saying? You can find some valuable bills to auction, flipping your money will do in the future, or at least hunt for note errors and bills or low serial numbers. Yep. It is possible. A lot of the old coins as well. But I don't, you know, go through them or look through them or anything like that. When I was a kid, probably like 10, 12, 14, Christmas present I got was like a book, and it had the 50 states in the US, and then you were supposed to collect like 2 types of quarters from each state. I think one had like an S on it or some shit, I don't know. So, you know, I spent probably a few weeks trying to find random states and their quarters, you know, and it was cool to collect, but I don't really think there's any added value in that, you know. So it was just something to do, probably something kind of cool, I guess, but you know, whatever. So what's good, Marco? What is good, man? Let me ask you guys a question. You guys do any reading this weekend? I read for a lot of time yesterday. By a lot, I mean like probably 3 hours. I posted that on my story. If you go to my Instagram, which you guys should have already on your screen at the bottom right, all my social media is the same. Fuck, my button doesn't work. Maybe I hit the wrong one. All right, I'll deal with the stream deck later. Anyway, I posted on my story. I went to Starbucks and was reading this one, Thoughts of a Philosophical Fighter Pilot, and it's really good. I like it. Now, some of it is a little, and I'm almost halfway done. I've been reading it for like 5 hours and I'm almost halfway done. So it's not that I read slow, it's just there's a lot. I mean, the pages are pretty large and the font is a little small, so it's a lot of reading, just so you know. You know, don't be fooled because it's thin, you know. There's a lot, but I think it's really cool. The guy's a complete badass, man, and I got some really great quotes out of it, you know, a little bit of inspiration as well. It's just good shit, man. And then someone on Twitter, I don't know who it was, but they commented that, you know, they like how I read a lot. I got them into reading. Matter of fact, a lot of people have been reaching out to me recently saying that, oh, you know, reading helped me with this, or I'm glad you put me on to stoicism, whatever. And dude, absolutely, man, absolutely. Why not, dude? Why not? School, you're not gonna learn this shit in school. You know, this is history from someone who was actually there, from someone who was a fighter pilot, I don't even know, ended up becoming like a professor and whatnot. I mean, dude, come on, man. I want to learn history from people who actually were there, who actually, you know, wrote history, not the fucking public school system's version of what happened. You know, oh, Christopher Columbus came over here and it was all peaceful. No, the fuck it was not. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's so bad, man. It's so bad. And I'd rather, again, learn from someone who really did stuff, World War II or whatever. I trust that more than the education system in America. So join your channel. Not quite long. Well, I'm glad you're here. Hopefully you're subscribed as well. I'm reading for the third time Think and Grow Rich after a great discussion with Mr. David Imonitier. All right, very nice. The title and author again? Oh, here, I'll show you. I'll come back on here. Give me just a moment. It's called Thoughts of a Philosophical Fighter Pilot by Jim Stockdale. Jim Stockdale. So there should be a link in the description to an Amazon store. If not, if you go to my Instagram story, there is a link to my Amazon store, which basically has book recommendations. It has different product recommendations, and if you use my link, I will receive a commission. It doesn't cost you anything extra. I just get a small kickback for, you know, introducing you to whatever it is that may be. Now, I do that because I now run a email service. Okay, if you guys didn't know, I send out emails every Wednesday, you know, with thoughts, quotes, book recommendations, motivation, you could say, and there's a myriad of topics. Okay, and what you have to realize is that email service, it is free for you. Okay, it's totally free for you. You don't have to pay anything. You don't even have to spend your money if you don't want to buying shit. But that email service, it costs me because there's an X number of emails, and the mail or the service MailChimp, right? You know, they charge me for the service. So, you know, if I'm gonna do that, that's fine, but I would probably like to have a little bit of money back so I can cover that expense, and that's why I do those things. Not that I need it. It's always going to be free. The email service will always be free, but that's why I do that. A Short History of Financial Euphoria by John Galbraith. I'm just getting into it. Very fitting for our current economic situation. Nice, Cameron. Love your book recommendations as well. NMP, appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. What time have you set on your indicator London and New York open? Well, I am Central Time, and I really only use the stock exchange open. I don't use the other ones. Plus, futures and forex are different, and I think there's an hour difference, and I think that's because futures are closed for an hour at the end of the day, so I think it throws off the time of the indicator. I think that's why that happens. But my indicator runs from 8:30 to 1700. That's just how I've had it, and that's pretty much how it runs. But like the other ones, this is not correct. Okay, but I just use it for the New York Stock Exchange. So I don't really trade FX all that much. I prefer futures. So that is why. So, but guys, real quick, if you have gotten some value out of today's presentation so far, at least I know we haven't been here very long, but make sure to like the stream. You know what I'm saying? Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Hit the like button so we can get on the algorithm, so we can get more people here, more people having fun, because I got some exciting stuff coming for you guys, just so you know. I got some cool shit coming for you guys, but not yet. All right, so we shall see. But let's step away from indices for just a minute. Let's talk about silver. Silver up 6% today. Look at that. 6% on silver. And I wonder who was recently talking about silver and purchasing silver, even if it's physical, right? And lo and behold, it's up 6% today. So now, why does this occur? Now, For me, it was strictly technicals and zero fundamentals. Okay, so zero understanding, well, not understanding, but there was zero prior knowledge of a bank run in California, of a bank failure. There was no, I had no fucking idea that that was going to even happen. But this is why I like technicals, but fundamentals only just kind of enhance that. If you look at the weekly time frame for silver, okay, what did we run into last week? Look at that imbalance, baby. What else is in there? 20. Oh, 20 level. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Not bad, right? 20 level inside of a weekly imbalance. Come on, man. Come on. It's up almost 10% in 3 or 4 days. Come on now. Now, I didn't buy physical silver when it was down here, but you know, it's up 9% from that. But that was the reasoning. I did get in a little bit early though. A little bit early. But that's not bad. Okay? Weekly time frame. So don't sleep on that. A lot of people go, oh, you know, oh, this and that, silver's up, gold is, you know, gold, same thing. Not up as much, but like big moves on gold too. It's like, you know, this shit throws people off sometimes. They're like, oh, well, what happened? Oh, it must be the bank shit. Well, why do you think I brought silver to your attention last week and the week before that? That was before this big move. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Come on. Higher time frames. That's where the big moves are at. And that's why some people get thrown off on small time frame. They don't understand that. They're going, what happened? Big time frames, what happened? So hopefully this is the bottom for silver. I don't know. I have no idea, but hopefully it is, because I bought some more silver. Hopefully it is. But if it's not, it's not gonna be the end of the world. If we end up going to 18 or 17, I'll fucking buy more. It's cool. Palladium, what's going on over there? Oh, that's dog shit. That's horrendous. That's why I don't even look at that. All right, I guess we'll go to the dollar index then. That's fine. So the dollar trading up to 105.80 something, and the last 4 days have been a complete massacre for the dollar index, thus likely sending foreign currency higher. Euro is up there, and I want to say we had these highs up here last week. I don't know if I pointed that out or not. I don't remember it. We look at too many things. I streamed too many times. I can't remember what I even had for lunch 2 days ago. So I don't know. If I mentioned it, great. If I didn't, then I didn't. But there's some highs there for the euro. British pound. I didn't think we would get here, but I did see this the other day. These highs over here from February 21st and February 28th. I just didn't think we'd react that quickly from this low down in here. Like, we took that low, I'm like, okay, great. But I mean, think about this, guys. How many times have you called out a 300 pip move in 3 days, 4 days? You know what I mean? Like, come on. Not often. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hardly ever hear me say, yeah, in the next 4 or 5 days, I'm expecting a 300 pip move on British pound. Never. Never. Not me. Maybe other people, but not me. Caught the buy on euro at the gap. Oh, from Sunday's gap, you mean? From this? That's not bad. That's pretty good. Although it looks like it took the highs first. Took the highs last week. Ran that again and then came back into it and then ran it a second time. Oh, do we have highs again? Oh, son of a bitch. I didn't even see that. We had more highs right there at 107.36. I didn't see that this morning. Man, that's a bummer, dude. Too busy focused on the indices. Oh well. Down candle there supporting price during London, probably. Oh no, that was New York. I lied. Imbalance here, supporting price as well, all the way up. Now, obviously, this is way after the fact because I just now saw this, but I like to point these things out to study, right? It's for your benefit. We traded into the gap here, right? We took a short-term low, so anyone who went long in that, they got yoinked. I mean, look how many times it went down, multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Then broke out to the upside. Okay, cool. Now the market has shifted from bearish to bullish. So down candle should be respected. You see that there. And then it hangs around there for a while, but then it rallies up, getting close to those highs. Retracement, imbalance, respected. And look at the bodies on that. Bodies within that. Then it rallies up to where we are right now. So that's not bad. So I would definitely study that as well on your own chart. Something like this. It's not bad. You love to see it. What's good, Lars? I'm good. I am good. Wish I would have slept better, but it's cool. I had a weird ass dream last night. Super weird. Like, I don't even remember most of it, but I just remember waking up and going, what the fuck? So I don't know what's up with that. Easy 1 to 4 took Asia high, then a low. New York took out London low and ran a London high on EU. Looks great. Yes. They need to remove daylight savings time. I don't know, man. I don't know who's in charge of all that. I don't know. But do you guys think, I know I talked about this earlier, but some of you kind of hopped in and off, so I don't know who is still here, but earlier I had made the case for a potentially bearish afternoon for the indices. Do you guys agree or do you disagree? We have taken short-term liquidity on the upside. We have some resting liquidity on the downside for the S&P. What do you think? I was shorting gold in my dream. Holy shit, I hope not. Longer term outlook on dollar. Look, man. Long-term moves, I'm not great at. There's too many factors. There's too many economic factors and interest rate decisions, interest rate changes, all that kind of stuff that can negate long-term ideas in the short term. So I really don't know. I really don't know. For dollar, I don't have a long term, but I guess if I really wanted to, I would look at the seasonal charts, and then I would look at open interest and just really find the strongest months and go from there. You know what I mean? But I haven't looked at my seasonality charts in a couple of days, so I couldn't tell you what this month is for the dollar. I have no idea. I have no idea. Potential longs pre-day low got taken, and the Asia high from today is low resistance, so might go bullish from there. On the Dow, actually, you're right. Now that you do mention Dow, there is some highs. There's some equal highs on the 1 hour up here at 32,385. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. So you do have that up here. So that is a possibility, but by the flip of my magical coin, the one with emojis on it, I would say we have a stronger likelihood of going lower than we do going higher. But I could be wrong. You're right. We did take the low of the 10th. We did take Friday's low. We have broken structure to the upside, but today's been kind of sloppy, at least for upside from this morning. I would be hesitant to long right now. I'd be hezzy. You know what I mean? But you could be totally right. Dow could fly, and I could be wrong. More downside today, and then tomorrow we potentially come back for Asian liquidity and some wicks from Friday, perhaps. NASDAQ sweep equal lows and have equal highs on NAS. Why not see price go to... I'm not sure I understand the question there. NASDAQ sweep equal lows and have equal highs on NASDAQ. Why not see price? Oh, shit. Okay. Well, which time frame are you looking at? Which time frame are you looking at for the NASDAQ? That's my question. So you're saying Friday's low, then this morning we hit that indubitably, as some of the boys in Trade House would say. What's the upside on that? The 5 minute. Oh shit, the 5 minute. Well, I think I mentioned this earlier. At least in the shorter term, the NASDAQ has respected this imbalance up here on the 15 minute. And I've already made the case for a bearish S&P. There is equal highs up there for the dollar, I almost said dollar, for the Dow. I'm just not feeling that. I'm just not feeling it. Holy shit, that music is loud as fuck. Pardon my language, guys. It's just sometimes, like, when I know I'm good, man. Chart colors, yes, I can show you that. Someone on Twitter had something very similar to this, and I liked it. Mine's a little bit different though. I don't know what they did with it, but the bodies are going to be white 90%, and that one is going to be the gray above the second green at 80%. Okay, and the borders I think are all the same. The borders and the wicks I think are all the same. The gray above the blue, yeah, all those are the same. And the background is going to be a solid. It's going to be the second white, so it's going to be the white that's above the orange. So did you get that? The body white 90%. The second box on the body is the gray above the second green at 80%. And then everything else is the gray above the blue at 100%. And I call it calm. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this chart literally is called calm, CALM. So hopefully you can appreciate that. Dow traded into daily imbalance and 4-hour imbalance during London. Perhaps we get some upside counter trend this week to fill some imbalance before continuing lower. There's a daily imbalance Thursday. You like the 1 minute? What is VI, big fella? Is that a Roman numeral for a number? Volume imbalance. Oh. All right. MES 2023. 1 minute volume imbalance for shorts. You talking about this? $38.80. That's pretty much the one I pointed out, right? That little gap right there. Right there. Possibly. We will know in time. You want to study trading in the zone? Have a great day. Hey, you too, man. Trading in the zone is probably the greatest trading psychology book ever written. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't. Wasabi. No, I don't, Mateo, I don't use any indicators. No. No. No indicators, big fella. So I think today could still be bearish, but I really do not care for today's price action from 10 to like where we are now. I mean, the 5 minute is okay, but that 15 minute looks horrendous. And one of you, Art, pointed out that 38.80. So we'll see what we do from there. If it was me, and I'm not putting this on, and this is absolutely not trade advice or anything like that, I guess if it were me for practice sake, like if I wanted to short that, my stop would probably go to here. That high. Right there, I think. Because to me, if we were bearish, we shouldn't trade above that. And if we ended up putting our stop all the way up here, that is 27 points, and that's a no. That is a no-go. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if this will move by itself. So I would probably screenshot something like that just to see. But I'm not pulling the trigger on this personally. Today's very volatile, man. Today can really rip your face off. Just be careful. I took a couple of trades today, a couple of break evens, and I'm over it. So I will leave it alone. What other questions do you guys have while we are chilling like a villain here? Might play a little bit of Balloons Tower Defense while we watch price action. You thinking about doing a stream on here about open interest? Well, if you have my book, which just dropped in Spanish, by the way, I do have a chapter on open interest, but it's very simple and very easy. Contracts expire, okay, every 3 months, at least for the indices. I'm pretty sure it's like that for a lot of futures contracts. But open interest will change. Okay, there's either going to be a massive increase in shorts or massive decrease in shorts, or just normal fluctuations. So let me just see if I can pull up bar chart. Just give me a second here. So open interest is higher on March, but volume is higher on June. So we're essentially switching to the June contract, at least as of right now. So give me just a minute here. I'm like not even logged in or anything. To bar chart. I don't remember. I looked at COT for a long time. Never was great at COT. Especially as a day trader, like never really found it fucking useful. All right. So you guys can see this, right? So like one of the examples that I likely would have given is here. Okay. So you see this massive decrease in open interest. Okay. That's what this is. Now it for whatever reason they put it under the volume indicator, but I'm not looking at volume. I'm literally just looking at the open interest with a line, and it's the black line, and that's the one that's down here. So when you see a massive decrease in open interest, if my memory serves me correct, it is a decrease in short positions. So for example, if you look at this, okay, from March of 2022, we went from like 4,600 all the way down to 3,800 for the S&P. So almost 1,000 points. Decrease in shorts, okay, then the market rallies, right? Something like that. So if it were me, man, this bar chart looks horrendous. So this looks way better. You get so used to trading view, you can't use anything else. All right. So if you look at this, okay, right, the market's dropped significantly. I don't know what's on the higher time frame, couldn't tell you, don't know. Massive decrease in shorts, so it looks like short covering down in here. Market rallies, leaves equal lows here on like a probably a 1 hour or something. Rallies, sweeps those lows, and then what's it do after it sweeps lows? It takes off to where? A new high, right? So once these lows were swept, on a intraday basis, you could consider going long in the majority of those days in here. Now, yeah, this is hindsight, and you know, we're looking at data that's already happened, but that's essentially how I've used it in the past. And if you have seen a lot of my work, then you would know we've looked at this kind of stuff before. We have some equal highs up here as well. 34,000 or 4,300 up here, which was taken later on. So yeah, that was, you know, that takes months to pan out. This was from 714 to 816. So that was over a month in that price leg. So for that month, I would be predominantly bullish. Like that's essentially how I'd use that. Does that make sense? But it's not always like that. Okay. Sometimes you'll get a massive decrease in shorts and then we continue lower. So if you tried to go long, you got clapped. But in my most recent turn of events, okay, and this is on my YouTube. If you go to my community tab, I sold all of my stock on the 2nd here, and I had went long somewhere in here. Okay, so think about that for a minute. If I can figure out how to fucking zoom out. Okay, we got a massive decrease in shorts here, and price traded down and into what? A mitigation here. So I went long, price rallies up, clears this high, and takes a high. Man, this fucking whatever high this is over here from the 13th, we took that and then hit 4,200. So I went long, got out, and now we're just chilling like a villain. So that's long-term trading. Now that was margined. I mean, that was not margined. That was pure SPY. So yeah, that's a significant move, but there's no margin on that. So it was just a really cool swing trade. And yeah, I sold it on the 2nd, pretty much at the very top, which is always nice, selling pretty much everything you have prior to a big ass sell-off. That's always really nice. So, you know, not to like brag or anything, but at this point I could likely see 37.89, and that's why we have that on this one, right? Because that 37.89 levels right here, and we have lows at 38.08, and that's only a 20-point difference between the lows from this morning and the low on that daily time frame. So let's look at that 15. Ooh, that close is a little suspicious. We've been around this 80 level for a few minutes now. We spent a few minutes there. So I would be a little worried if I was short at 38.80. I'd be a little worried right now. I'd go, okay, it's been what, 15 minutes and it's still around the entry? I don't know, Chief. I don't know, man. You know, I get really questionable when it spends that much time near an entry. Now, I've gotten out of good trades before due to being impatient. Won't lie to you. But in the majority of cases, if we're right, it should see. If we're right on shorts, it should trade lower, right? But if it's not and we're wrong, then it's likely going to trade higher. And what's the point of taking a full stop when I could just say, screw it, I don't like the idea, I'll just take what I can get right now, 2 points, maybe 3, get the hell out of here, you know? But I mean, it looks okay for shorts. It looks okay, but it's just spending a lot of time there that I don't care for. The Dow, yuck. The NASDAQ did take some short-term highs, but I don't know. Not too sure. But again, if I was in a short, I would be a little bit worried. If you guys want to also put an alert on here, we could do 38.57. And if we're wrong and we go higher, we could put an alert up there. So we'll see. We'll see what we do. And yeah, so there's that. Okay, this is what the SPY looks like on well, literally the SPY. And this is that mitigation I was talking about, I was referring to. And I'll get back to the chat in just a minute. Sometimes I get lost in the sauce, man. You gotta bear with me, okay? But that was what that looks like on the higher time frame. Okay. Can I ask about personal finances? Where do you store your finances? Normal bank. I know you buy a lot of assets, which is awesome, but what about the money? Thanks in advance. So I'm glad you asked that. You know, and I wish I could teach more financial literacy and all that kind of stuff. So I want you to imagine this for a second. Okay, I like pie charts and circle charts and really all types of charts. I don't discriminate when it comes to charts, you know what I'm saying? So I want you to imagine this for a minute. I'll draw this out here. I know it's futures analysis, but you're gonna get you know, other types of education here. All right, this isn't going to be the greatest pie chart that you've ever seen, but you're going to get the idea. Okay, so when it comes to net worth, when it comes to wealth, okay, I would not put more than a certain percentage of wealth, of your net worth, right, in any particular one thing. So let me just give you an idea, and this is not financial advice at all, okay? This is just the general idea that I like to strive for, that I like to kind of balance out, okay? Because all my money in one account, I will not sleep at night. I will sweat all day. I will lose a bunch of weight, and it will not be good. Okay, so there's that. And let me see. I'm just gonna label this like another project. Like, let's just say project 1 and maybe like project 2. Okay, just for completeness sake. Okay, so this is how I would essentially break down whatever it is that I'm worth. Okay, so then this would be alright, it doesn't really look all that great, but we're not here for that. We're here more so for the idea, right? Okay, something like that. All right, so and it's not always like even per se, because everything fluctuates and stuff like that. You know, you take trades, you lose trades, you win trades, whatever. Stocks go up, down, fucking metals go up and down, whatever. So this is essentially what I would do with different forex accounts, different futures accounts, cash, bank account, maybe some business ventures or other projects. And, you know, let's just say for a magical random number, let's say 10%. Like, okay, I don't want to have more than, and it's cool to screenshot, I don't care, but just know that it's not financial advice. Okay, so there's that. Okay. So if it was me, that's how I look at it. So 10% of whatever you have, I would not want in any single venture. So let's just say you have a net worth of $5,000. Okay, you have $5,000 to your name. Now this doesn't include, you know, like your car or a house or something that you have equity in and stuff like that. I'm just saying, like, you've got $5,000 in cash. What do I do with it? I'm like, okay, if it was me, then I'd keep, you know, 500 to 1,000 in cash. I'd probably put 500 in a Forex account if it was me. Okay. Metals, I probably wouldn't do too much with metals just because you're going to pay premiums and stuff, and that's going to kind of dig into your net worth a little bit. So I'd probably wait on the metals. Might buy a little bit of stock, and then I might keep a little bit in the bank and kind of balance that out. Because here's the thing. If you look at my screen, I have what up here, Premeditatio Malorum, right? And that's a coin that I have it's on top of my computer. It's on my desk kind of, but let me see if I can blow this up real quick. Okay. Premeditatio Malorum. It's a coin that I got from the Daily Stoic website. Right, and there's a shipwreck. All the terms of our human lot should be before our eyes. Exile, torture, war, shipwreck, so on and so forth. From Seneca, actually. I think it was letters from a Stoic. I could be wrong. But what does that mean? Right? Premeditatio Malorum is the premeditation of evils. In other words, what could go wrong? What could happen? So let's just say, because we've all been there, you blow your Forex account. You blow your futures account. Okay. Well, if you blew your Forex account, either you blew your whole net worth, or you only wrecked 10% of your net worth, or maybe 20% of your net worth, and it doesn't put you out on the street. You can still buy groceries and, you know, stuff like that. You can still pay bills or whatever. That's the purpose of that. Okay, the purpose of diversifying the net worth, in my opinion, is to prevent that. Okay, say a fucking tree busts into the roof, right? And then insurance is like, you know, we don't want to pay for your roof, so you're on your own. You know, it's like, okay, well, shit, I need money for a new roof, right? Okay, done. Right? That's what emergency funds are for. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Or, hey, somebody does a hit and run on the road and slash your tires, and the insurance company doesn't want to, you know, pay for anything. It's like, okay, well, it's going to be $2,000 at the mechanic, right? Or $3,000 at the mechanic. Well, what are we going to do? Emergency fund, right? So you have to. I go into things, right, with the idea of, if this goes wrong, am I fucked? You know what I mean? Like, I know I have colorful language, but I mean, think about it. Think about it. If I'm wrong, I don't want to get wrecked. And that's why, like, say, for example, say we did short this. Okay, if I'm wrong, that's fine, but I don't want to lose more than, let's say, 1% of the account or 0.5% of the account. Because if I did take this trade, it would probably be 0.5%, especially right now. Because again, hopefully I've made that case for you. We've spent a lot of time near that 80 level, right? Look at this. We've spent a lot of time there. And if we're bearish, but it's not going lower, well, shit, it might go higher. Okay. Look at it. It's going higher. At least on like a small time frame it is. But if I was short, I'd be nervous as fuck right now. I'd be nervous. Okay. Excuse me. Gotta yawn a little bit. The dollar. What could the dollar do? Well, if the dollar continues to sell off, that may be our excuse for, or justification for, the indices to go higher. Dow's the weakest today, so I'd be a little bit shaky with 32,400 unless we absolutely obliterate that high from 11 o'clock. Any retracements lower, maybe an imbalance or some shit, that might send us to 32,400. That might send us there. Looking at this, we did spend a lot of time within here as well, which wasn't, oh no, it was seen on the S&P. I slipped that. This could be a potential mitigation to take us up there. Could be. Could be. That might be the case. So we'll see. But hopefully, Ark, that answers a little bit of your question on, you know, diversification and the reason for that. And I may end up clipping that and making that a YouTube video, just so you guys have it for reference. Because I know these live sessions can be really long, and I know most people don't go back and watch them. But you know, if you want like a 6-minute highlight or a 10-minute highlight, I could probably make a video of that. So yeah, what do you think about the bullishness we're seeing on Treasury bond futures? Do you see indices higher despite bearishness we saw last week, or do you see it as a run on low resistant highs? Do you mean ZBH? Because I don't think that's the right one anymore. What is the current ZB? I haven't looked at this in a minute. Is it this one? We're in ZBM territory. That looks better. There we go. That is a great question. And I'm not sure, but it looks like we have traded into this imbalance here, which we're pulling back from a little bit. But yeah, I really don't know. Those highs look okay. There's just not a lot of price action here. I think it would be better if we looked at the chart of, let me see if we can get like a daily nearby that might give us a little bit more information. Or a weekly nearby. Oh, that looks pretty wild. But there's some weekly highs there. We swept December's low, so that would likely probably be a target, the next target at least. There's that same low. This is why bar chart is not good for charting. There's that December low. Sweat. And yeah, that could be likely, if we haven't already traded above that. Is that what you're asking? Can you stream the live session you had about 2 days ago or put it on your channel? Well, all of the live sessions are recorded, and they're put on the under the live portion. See what I'm saying? So if you go to my channel and you go under the live tab, they're all here. Okay, the one with Iffy, the one with Rock, some of the earlier ones, Jenna, Siva, quit being a slave. Yeah, sniping in your underwear. So the one with Ricky from last week, 2 days ago, it's all there. They're all recorded. So there you have it. Okay, so that short-term high was swept. So if we had held on to that trade, that would have been a loss. And that's why I would have likely gotten out with a break even, or just those 2 points and moved to the sideline. Because if we have potentially made a case for a long, at least on the Dow, then we will see how it goes. So right now it's stuck. Price is at pretty much halfway. It's stuck in between that 11 a.m. high and the start of the afternoon session's low, right? Like we're kind of halfway in between that. So I don't know what it's going to do, but I know that if we break to the downside, 38.08 could be likely. If we break out to the upside, I would probably rather focus on Dow longs versus... No, that can't be the case. Dow's our weakest index. Okay. Fuck. Maybe NASDAQ. And maybe stretch for Friday's high. But it's hard to tell. At least for me. Maybe some other people are out there going, oh, this or that, and they could be right or wrong. But me personally, I don't know, man. But I'm telling you, I really think that if we bust these lows, 38.08 could be on the table for today. I took 3 trades today. All 3 were break even. So I'm out, man. Don't want to press it. Don't want to press it. But we'll give it until about... I mean, I could end the session probably right now, but if anything, we'll probably give it until about 1:45 or 2 o'clock. So maybe like another 35 minutes or so. And then we'll have to hop off here. Treasury bond futures could be leading signs of failed distribution into reaccumulation. Yeah, I don't know. Excuse me. I'm not sure. I think we're just in a very interesting time right now. Today's super volatile. All the bank failures and everything. And there's a lot of news this week as well. We could pull that up real quick too. We have CPI tomorrow morning. Then we have PPI tomorrow, or excuse me, Wednesday. Sorry, Wednesday. And Australian dollar unemployment rate on Wednesday. Thursday, Euro monetary policy. Ugh. And then prelim consumer sentiment on Friday. So yeah, there's nothing. There's no news today, at least no level 3 news today. But we are coming off of Fridays, and this weekend, you know, the news of the bank failures and everything. So, yeah. Oh, I keep fucking yawning, man. Keep yawning. Tired. I don't even know why. Oh, it's because my sleep wasn't all that great. Woke up this morning and went back to bed, had a weird ass dream, and then woke up. Maybe that's why I broke even so many times today. There was a Biden speech today. Well, anytime I want to hear a puppet speak, I'll go watch it. But I'd rather watch paint dry, or rather play Bloons Tower Defense, or just really anything but that nonsense, in my opinion. Such a waste of time. But such a huge waste of time. I really want to see us get some movement. We've been in the 80s for a while. You know what I'm saying? And I think that just even looks worse on a 15-minute. Like, look at that, dude. This morning we got some nice moves, right, to the upside, a little bit of movement to the downside, but this has been gross. Gross. Oh man. Ugh, sorry. Listening to Biden is 2 words: waste of time. Well, anything that he does is a waste of time. I don't want to speak too much on it though, because I'll go down the rabbit hole and get my channel banned and all that. I don't want to do it. I don't vote. I think it's all bullshit. I don't think anybody's vote counts at all. Then you had reports of all these, you know, just boxes and boxes. I mean, people found dumpsters full of like voter cards, you know, mail-in ballots and all that. And then you had like an influx of mail-in ballots that were like all Democratic and shit. Like, dude, it's all bullshit. All of it is bullshit. Plus, one of the benefits of not voting in the US is I don't have any jury duty. No jury duty. I probably wouldn't ever be on a jury anyway. I saw some comedians talk about that, and they're hilarious. Like, this guy had gotten out of jury duty because he was a comedian. So it was just super funny. It was like some guy was in jail for attempted murder, right? And then he was being, I guess, tried again, but this time like for murder. So he's like, this guy's definitely getting better at murdering people. And I guess the story goes, they asked me if I thought he was guilty, and he was like, yeah, he's guilty. And they were like, you have no possible way of knowing that he's guilty. We haven't presented any evidence. And the comedian's like, have you seen his face? Like, look at his face. He's guilty, because he had tattoos everywhere. You know, it was hilarious the way he put it. And I feel like I'd do some shit like that too. Like, no, that guy's guilty. Yeah, but you haven't seen the evidence. So he's fucking guilty. You know what I mean? Like, just be a douchebag. Be like, all right, you're out of here. A fellow non-voter here, but be careful. Don't want YouTube to target your channel. I don't have enough followers. I don't have enough attention on YouTube for me to even be a target, to be honest. I mean, we've only got 20 people on. I've only got like 10 likes. You know, you guys don't like the videos for whatever reason. You don't like the content. We're not gonna like John's video. You know what I mean? I'm just curious what we do, man. I want to see us get out of this range that we are stuck in. Because, like, man, even if we were trading like a 1 minute, it ain't looking good. Then I think we just might end up trading higher. I think that's, oh well, at least equal highs on the 1 minute for NASDAQ, but that looks like it's getting traded through right now. There's a gap right there, like right there. I was just looking at it. Like, to me, I wouldn't trade that, but it was just, I was looking at it. Oh, that 2 minute looks terrible. The 2 minute looks absolutely terrible. Do you have some form of long-term investment, like in stocks, metals? I know so. Yeah. I told you I sold all of my stock on the 2nd. So I pretty much sold everything in here, and I have not bought in any stock since then. I actually did take a long-term call earlier today in Wells Fargo. Everybody wants to short banks right now, and I think that's fine. We went from 47 to 39s. We took some levels of daily liquidity though, under 40 and then under 39.30. So we took, you know, 2 areas of liquidity, and I took a long-term call option. So, you know, nothing crazy. So technically, I did go long on Wells Fargo. But I went long 1 because if we end up trading down into 36, that would be like another, that would be June's low. And that may be on the table as well. And that's why I didn't go all in on today's long. But anyone who's been long, they have their stop down here, they just got stopped out. So we may see a rally for Wells Fargo, but I'm not sure. JP Morgan, kind of similar. You would think that Bank of America's down 3%, right? But look what they're doing. They took some lows, right? Some long-term lows from October. But JP Morgan, not even close, but they did take some December lows. So I just feel like a lot of people want to short banks right now, and I like to see what everyone else is doing and do the opposite. You know what I mean? Could be a potential mitigation as well from last week, given this up candle here. So it's just a possibility. Although Wells Fargo, I mean, their stock is looks a little shit, but just one call option at 40. So nothing crazy, but that's it. I don't really trust anything long term. I'm not good at long term trading. What do you know about the new quantum finance system? First time I've heard of it. First time I've heard of anything like that. So yeah. All right. Anyways, we'll go back to the futures for a little bit. So far, we've had an uneventful afternoon. Haven't done a whole lot. Might get better movement tomorrow and Wednesday. Again, make sure to check your calendars. Okay, so no news today. Tomorrow at just make sure this is right. Yeah, 8:30 EST. CPI. Okay, CPI for USD tomorrow, and then PPI on Wednesday, and unemployment change tomorrow evening for Australian dollar. So I think tomorrow, well, CPI, I'm probably not going to trade initially. I might wait till after, but I don't know. Sometimes CPI is good and sometimes it's like, what the fuck, you know? So there's that. So it looks like it may want to come up and take 39.10. So if it does that, again, we'll keep our eye on Dow to see if we get the wham bam thank you ma'am up to 32,400. Again, just to make that case, potential mitigation is being respected. Those highs up here, we have an hour and a half in like 6 minutes, so 96 minutes, I think, if that's right. I don't know, who cares. An hour and a half from now, 32,400 could be on the table for the Dow Jones. And then 12,120, probably even above that for the Nasdaq. So we'll see how it goes. Do you guys have any more questions? I really just not content with today's price action. You know what I mean? Like today's, like if I wasn't streaming today, I would have left this alone and I'd be outside reading right now until about 2 o'clock. I'd be reading a book, and I'd come back at 2 o'clock to see what the last hour is gonna do. I think the last hour we'll probably see some volatility. And yeah, anyone who's been short today, if they have their stop up here, that could be attacked later. Or if people are long and they're trying to long, or they're trailing from this morning, or even like right now, there's going to be stops here. And that's why, like, to me, I just don't know. I can't make a fucking high probability scenario with what's actually taking place. And that's why I'd rather not touch it. Ark says, what the fuck is this price action? That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, look at this 1 minute. What is this? What is that? We actually had some decent moves over in here. You know what I'm saying? And then you look at this shit. It ain't it, man. It's not it. It is not cool, man. We did slam lower though. Notice that gap in here. Right there. Matter of fact, we don't really get that on the S&P. Not really. We don't really get that on the NASDAQ either. The Dow's the other one who really gapped like that right there. Ugh. Yeah, it ain't looking too cash money today, as some people would say. It ain't looking too cash money. I mean, it all looks horrendous. The 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, definitely. Nah. We're not leaning with it or rocking with it right now. Tisk, tisk, tisk. But that's trading for you. That is trading. So, again, if it were me, I'd take the next 30 minutes off. I'd go outside, get some fresh air, read a book, and then come back at 2 o'clock and see the last 60 minutes. And there might be potential scalps within that window. But we won't know until we get there. Ooh, Shade, I may take a nap, man. I can't stop yawning. I might take a nap. But I don't want to nap outside, though. You know? There's bugs outside. Crawl all on your face and whatnot. I don't want that. Wouldn't want that. So this will be interesting. If we end up trading higher for the NASDAQ and lower on Dow, that may be a problem. There is a significant difference. So Dow is only up 0.5%. NASDAQ's up almost 2%. So there's definitely a disparity in percentages there. But what I'm saying is, if NASDAQ ends up running higher, and the S&P doesn't, and the Dow doesn't, that could make the case for these lows on the S&P. Or if they both go up and take the high, then that's cool too. But I don't know. For me, it's a coin flip. For me, it's fucking black or red. And I don't want to put money on that. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. What I'm gonna do is take this off. I'm gonna take this off as well. Clean this up a little bit. I wish there was a way to get those alert off of there, like that little alarm clock button. Is there not a way to turn that off? I don't know. Calling it a day here. Enjoy your day, John. Enjoy your day as well. I might as well call it here too. You know, if we're gonna take a break and come back later, then we can do that. So I might as well lead by example. So I guess we'll cut it here. But yeah, just pay attention. Again, I don't have a high conviction either way. Sometimes I tell you guys, you know, watch for this or watch for that. I really don't know. I'm not convinced in either way, so we're just gonna have to wait and see without you know, without doing anything too crazy. So we'll know tomorrow. We'll be back here tomorrow. We'll have CPI that, you know, data as well will come out. We'll see what happens there, and then go from there. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. So y'all be blessed, have an amazing day, and we'll see you then. Thanks, Naruto.